Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be covering a very important topic, the value of compound interest. This is very important for young people who've just entered the workforce or have just got their first job. This is an opportunity that you shouldn't waste. Or if you haven't learned about compound interest, I'll save you the trouble. Like if you don't need a master's in finance or accounting like I've done. I'll just cut to the chase and show you the most important part that you need to know. Rightio, so we'll make a start. So we just pulled up a compound interest calculator here. So we're starting first job, 20 years old. We have $1 to our name. We are living frugally and saving as much money. We're not spending it. We're not getting loans, car loans, or anything like that. So we aim to at least invest $250 Australian on a weekly basis. So the compound frequency we'll just work with annual numbers here. And our time horizon is we want to be out of the workforce by the time we're 60 at the absolute latest. Most people should be able to exit a lot earlier than that, but we'll just work with that. So 40 years, so from 20 to 60. Right. In terms of interest rates, we can get from a common market index fund, international shares invested for the long term is what we're doing here, would give us somewhere in the vicinity of almost 12%. So let's say 11.5%. All right. So as we can see on the chart here, at the end of the 40 years, we would have over $8 million. But this doesn't take into account inflation, right? So inflation has been very extreme for the last 4 years. But on average, if we average inflation, we look at inflation over the last 40 years, it's somewhere around 3.5% in Australia, right? So if we take away, let's go with the very conservative amount, and let's take that 3% away. So we end up with 8.5%. So this will take account of inflation, right? Still very close, almost $4 million. So as you can see, you will be very comfortable by the time you retire. So you shouldn't have any, and you also won't need to live in a city or a place where there's employment. You can move out to a place which is far cheaper cost of living, or you can move overseas and take advantage of cheap countries as well and live like a king or a queen. So, as you can see, for when you start out, when you're 20, the crawl is a very slow crawl in terms of your deposits and your interest. However, once we hit the $1 million mark, which will be right about there. So right about after working for 25 years, that's quite a long time. But from 25 years of working onwards, the pedal hits the floor and it accelerates exponentially. So we're almost making 100 to 200 grand a year after we've been working for 25 years. So you can see substantially the effect of compound interest, and you are set and you are on your way. So you can see that a relatively conservative amount invested every week over the long term. So that's why it's so important that it's time in the market, right? So you want to start this as early as possible and keep it going. This will be your ticket to purchasing freedom, or at least a guaranteed way of purchasing freedom, right? This is a tried and true almost certainty that you can make that, providing you can maintain employment, whether being employed by someone else or having your own business over the long term. Uh, I've been able to achieve this quite comfortably. I haven't had any issues achieving this. So, but I started very early. I started when I was 15, so not 20 here. But for all intents and purposes, this is very important information. I'm not sure they teach us in schools, but it's not complicated. And as you can see, the results, taking account of inflation as well, like almost a $4 million nest egg is more than enough for someone to quit working and live comfortably. Hope you found this useful. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.